Welcome to Mia's Dinosaur Discovery. Join us as we unearth secrets from the Age of Dinosaurs. This is dinosaur country. Between 252 and 66 million years ago, giants walked the Earth. Today, their world is hidden right beneath our feet, waiting to be discovered. Hi, I'm Mia, your head paleontologist. Paleontologists study ancient life by finding clues. We're going on an expedition to find dinosaur fossils, so let's check our gear. The mystery begins with footprints. Paleontologists learn about dinosaurs from trace fossils, which are tracks left in the mud millions of years ago. The tracks tell us how the dinosaur was moving. What is a fossil? To be a real fossil, the clue has to be over 10,000 years old. Body fossils are actual remains, and trace fossils are clues about how they lived. A fossil is any evidence of ancient life older than 10,000 years. There are two main types: body fossils, which are parts of the actual plant or animal, and trace fossils, which show evidence of how an animal moved or lived. This is the journey from bone to stone. It involves 4 steps: life and death, quick burial, permineralization, and finally, uplift and erosion, which exposes the fossil on the surface. To become a fossil, a dinosaur had to be buried very quickly before it decayed. Over millions of years, water and minerals seeped into the bones, turning them into solid rock. We can read dinosaur footprints. By measuring the distance between tracks, scientists can tell if a dinosaur was walking slowly or running fast. The deeper the footprint, the heavier the dinosaur. Spotting the first clue. Paleontologists look for sedimentary rock from the Mesozoic era. Wind and rain erode the rock, exposing the hidden bones. The explorer's toolkit is essential for careful work. We use hammers and chisels for heavy rock, dental picks for scraping tiny bits of stone, and soft brushes to clear away sand and dust. Digging in the dirt takes incredible patience. The hard, solid rock, or matrix, encasing the fossil, is scraped away millimeter by millimeter to uncover the prize, a massive bone turned to stone. It's time to dig. We start with heavy tools like pickaxes to remove the top dirt. But as we get closer, we switch to tiny brushes and dental picks to avoid damaging the delicate stone. The perfect package. Making a plaster jacket. Fossils are fragile, so we cover them in wet toilet paper, gauze, and then plaster. This creates a hard shell to keep the bones safe for the journey back to the museum. The plaster jacket involves 3 steps. First, wrap the bone in wet toilet paper. Second, wrap it in gauze and wet plaster. And third, let it dry into a rock-hard cast for a safe ride home. The museum lab is where the final, careful cleaning of the fossil takes place. Scientists use microscopes to clean away the last bits of rock and mount the bones on a metal frame to create the skeleton. Back in the lab, after removing the plaster jacket, the real puzzle begins. We clean off the extra rock, called the matrix, and start connecting the bones using metal frames to create the living animal shape. Meet the king T-Rex. This is the most famous predator of the Cretaceous period. The most complete T-Rex ever found, named Sue, is 90% complete. T-Rex had powerful jaws capable of charging at 20 miles per hour, but its arms were tiny, only the size of a human arm. They were so short they couldn't even reach its own mouth. The T-Rex, or tyrant lizard king, was the apex predator of the late Cretaceous period. It was 40 feet long and had the strongest bite in the entire history of life on Earth. Fossils show T-Rex had tiny, 2-fingered arms, razor-sharp serrated teeth up to 12 inches long, and a powerful 20-foot tail with 35 vertebrae for balance. The T-Rex had one of the strongest bites, with serrated teeth like steak knives, and its short, muscular arms could lift 400 pounds. T-Rex's skull was heavily built, its eyes faced forward for better depth perception, and its teeth were continuously replaced, shedding and regrowing. Meet Maiasaura, the good mother lizard. They were known for communal nesting and caring for their young. They lived in large herds across North America. The Maiasaura was a duck-billed dinosaur, or hadrosaur, that walked on 2 legs but stood on 4 to graze. They ate tough plants using thousands of teeth. Maiasaura eggs were round, about the size of a cannonball, and their nests were dug out of the ground, lined with soft vegetation, and placed close together in a massive nesting colony. Evidence shows Maiasaura parents cared for their young, protecting them and bringing food to the nest until they were large enough to leave. In the Maiasaura nesting grounds, nests were spaced out by 1 adult body length, about 25 feet. This shows cooperative behavior and communal care for their young. The Maiasaura babies, or hatchlings, had larger heads and shorter tails compared to adults, similar to human infants. They relied on their parents for food and protection. Join me next time for another exciting adventure in the world of paleontology. Thank you for joining Mia's Dinosaur Discovery. We hope you enjoyed learning about the Maiasaura and the T-Rex. See you next time for more dinosaur discoveries.